Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Good Vibrations Only podcast, brought to you by, we're working on it also. Soon, hopefully. You can call us. Okay, so today we have here with us our beautiful customer turned friend.
Hello.
Kim!
Hello. Boom! Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
It's Kim's show today! But thank you for coming on to our show.
No problem.
Amidst your busy schedule.
Thank you.
So, FJ.
Kim,
yes.
can you just tell us your name again?
Yes.
As if we didn't already say it so many times.
Introduce
Yourself
to our
and what you do.
Hello, my name is Kimberley. That's the longer version of Kim. Currently, I'm working as a full-time nurse. I've been working for almost 2 years. July, I'll be
2 years.
yes 2 years old.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service,
No
Kim.
problem.
Amidst this whole pandemic situation, which
No
is still
problem.
ongoing, but salutes, man. Boom.
Thank you.
How do we know? Okay, my earliest memory of you, right? Honestly, okay, correct me if I'm wrong. I know that when circuit breaker hit, right,
Yes.
you DM us a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was the first time you reach out to us.
I remember one of my friends introed me to Luke.
Okay.
Gums.
Shout out to your
Hey,
friend.
Shout out to my friend Denise.
Denise!
Brother.
Denise, you know who
Thank
you are.
you.
Thanks,
Yes.
Denise.
Then I remember I came here and I met you and then we talked and I was like, wow. I was like, this place, the customer service. I was like, wow. Yeah, really, and I just felt very drawn to the place. So I think when I'm not free because of work and my rostering and everything, that's when mostly I reach you guys on Instagram.
Correct.
Yeah, I reach you guys through Instagram. Yeah. So that's why I always kept DMing you guys. Every time there's new shirts that come out, I'll be like, hello, measurements.
Yeah,
Measurements,
right.
please.
Boom.
Okay, so wait, so you've come to the store before CB lah?
I think so.
Okay, then yeah. Then, but I also remember replying her DMs a lot during circuit breaker hit. When circuit breaker hit, and then she used to buy she got very specific kind of t-shirt. She likes the very altruistic, those nursing types or very kindness,
And
that
the
kind,
Jesus tees.
and the Jesus t-shirt.
Shout out to Jesus T, man.
Yes.
And it's more or less stayed the same also lah throughout the years till now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and but how was CB for you actually at that point of time? You were only just entered.
I think during CB, I was still studying. I haven't graduated yet.
Okay, we're
Yeah.
gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that.
So I remember coming here and I remember just talking about wow, in the hospital it's social. I just remember talking to you about it because
Okay.
my friend's a nurse also.
Okay.
I remember we were just talking to you about it. That's my first memory of here.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Mm.
But why is it that we asked Kim on today?
I think also because Kim has an interesting background. You would think that doing nursing now, you probably pursued nursing prior to your uni. What am I saying? No, I say you probably pursued
Yeah.
nursing. You did nursing for your uni, right?
Degree.
Which we'll get into later. But prior to your uni education, you did something else, which later you will let us know, right? And I think for this is also very important, at least to our younger audience, out there. It's for them to actually figure out, especially their route, that whatever you're doing now, the course of study that you're doing, it may not be the final thing. You can always choose to pursue something else, other callings out there as well. So, boom.
So I was also just sharing with Kim why we wanted to have her on as well, because we do meet a lot of you guys, the younger customers who come through, and then when you all share with us some of the things that you want to do versus the things that you are doing now. I remember very clearly there was a customer who was gonna study medicine. Shout out if you know who you are. you were telling me you are gonna do medicine and you're going overseas to study as well, but deep down you just really wanted to do modeling, and you weren't sure how you could tell your parents about it because you were doing medicine for your parents, or other customers who are I'm already at my last year of poly, but I don't like what I'm doing. It's this is not what I want to do for the rest of my life, but I already spent 3 years on it. So sometimes we hear a lot of these stories, and Kim is a living proof that you can still pivot and enjoy what you're doing. So Kim, can you tell us what were you doing in Poly? Yeah. Okay.
So before I did my degree at NUS, I was studying Mass Comm at Ngee Poly.
Shout out to FMS.
Shout out FMS. Yeah. So
Yeah.
so I was there for 3 years. Yeah, and I finished my diploma and everything. Wow, I had a lot of fun. It was really, really very fun. I really enjoyed myself.
Yeah.
The reason why I wanted to go there was because I really wanted to do radio. So yeah, you know, growing up in secondary school, One Direction, Justin Bieber. Yeah, like wow, I tell you, like I was super into the music industry, you know. Yeah, so I was like, wow, being
Were
a
you
radio
on Radio Heatwave?
Yes.
Let's go. Boom.
Yeah, so I mean, like, yeah, so growing up, right, I remember we organized like flash mob and everything. I was like, wow, this is the life. Like, this is really what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So that's why I thought that Mass Comm was something that was like really good to like push me in that direction.
So this interest you had sort of stemmed even during like secondary school. You were like, okay, that's me, right?
Come, you all tell us what secondary school you're from.
Yeah. What secondary school were you?
Secondary school different.
different.
Primary
Secondary
school
school.
same.
With primary school same.
Primary school same.
Yeah, primary school
Sean,
same.
you want to give shout out?
Shout outs to KCP, Kuchuan Presbyterian Primary School. A flame for truth, man. Yeah, man. Then what secondary school do you go to?
Press high.
Press
Presbyterian,
High.
right?
Yeah, a lot of my friends also went to Press High. Nice. Okay. So when did that you know little thought that spark like you know told you that okay you know a radio Mass Comm, yes. When did that happen?
Okay, I remember in secondary school, right, my parents still kind of wanted me to go to JC.
Okay.
But no, like at that point in time, I was like, I'm not smart. Like I think that
Hey.
okay, but poly also need to study very hard.
Of course, hey, come on lah, hey.
But I mean, but TBH, like my impression at that point in time is like, oh, like I confirm cannot go JC lah. I think poly will be easier for me. Then that was also when I was discovering myself, and I was like, wow, like this music. Men, Angmo dudes, One Direction. I was like,
who's
wow.
your favorite? Who's your favorite?
Hey, Nile, man.
Now.
Unproblematic.
Boom.
Yeah, so like I was like, wow, I was like super into it, you know. And during my time like in Ngee-Ann, especially like doing all the music stuff, especially when I was in Radio Heatwave, it was so fun. Like we went for events for free, and then I was like, wow, my job is like to do write-ups, take pictures, like interview celebs, like interview the vamps, like when I was when I was in Heatwave. So it was so fun. I was like, wow.
You got them down to.
Yeah, by some miracle, you know, like the main, if you guys know the main also.
Yeah.
So we just emailed them, and then they were like, yeah, sure. Then they came to school. They were like, oh, okay. Yeah, so it was really very, very fun lah.
Right.
But yeah, like going back to the question, sorry, I deviated a bit. But yeah, so I think like growing up, I was like, wow, like you know, like doing all this music stuff and everything, radio is it for me, man.
Right.
Like I really, and like people say I also got quite nice voice lah. So
Hey,
like,
you do.
thank
you.
you. Yeah, so I was like, wow, really, you know, like, I really think that this is it. So that's why I was like, okay, Mass Comm. So my parents, like, you know, when we could choose, right, what courses we want to go
12
to.
choices.
Yeah, I remember at first I put SAJC lah, but my grades are confirm cannot make it.
Just
I
put
so
first lah.
So make my parents happy, you know. Then my second one was like Mass Comm. Like, wow, when I got the text right, Mass Comm, poly. I was like,
Let's go.
let's get it.
Nice. Then would you say like throughout your 2 years like in FMS Mass Comm, right, up to the point where it's your final year already, right? You're still thinking that okay, actually this path is still for me.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
So what made you make that switch to nursing at NUS? Please walk us through the process.
Honestly, like nursing wasn't even in like the back of my mind, like, all the way at the back, right? Like wasn't even there until I graduated. So actually, after I finished poly, right, I really wanted to continue with comms.
Right.
Like that was what I wanted to do. I mean, technically,
At Wee
yeah, like so I was aiming to go to
Wee
Kim. Then. Or like maybe go like private U or something lah. But TBH at that point in time, finances wise, I know that it'll be best if I don't go to like private like or like go overseas, you know, very expensive, right? Yeah, so I was like, okay, I still want to try to aim to like, you know, like NUS, local U lah. Yeah, so I was just like looking around everything, but TBH very, very difficult for me to get with my grades at that point in time. So I was just like, okay lah, just use this time to explore my options. Technically with a diploma, I can get a job already in the field, right? Because my portfolio and everything. So I was like, okay lah, just use this time to just try something else. If it doesn't work out, then it's okay.
Yeah, so be it lah.
It's okay. Can always fall back on my diploma. So I put a bunch of other choices, but at that point in time, I put nursing, but it was very 50-50. So some people were like, oh, I can actually see you being a nurse. But then there was also 50 like, so wasted, you know, why you study 3 years, your diploma, everything, why you want to go and change into this completely different field? Yeah, so that's why. So it wasn't like I was like, wow, like, you know, like I want to be a nurse. I'm so inspired right now. But it was more of like, okay, like let's just explore these different sides of me.
Right.
Then we just see whether it works out or not.
Okay.
So for me, it was more of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I always had an impression it was like something like you just wanted to do.
Yeah, or like suddenly like one day you woke up like there's a calling.
TBH, I think after I made the decision, then that was when it started to make sense. So during that period of time also was like when my grandparents were like in and out of the hospital, my two gongongs passed away. Shout to my gongongs.
Shout out to them, man.
Shout to them, man.
Shout out to
And then
gongongs.
and then I like saw my grandma like like really take care of my grandfather and everything. Then I felt very like useless. You know what I mean? Like to me it's like, I mean, I can like talk well and like I do radio and stuff but at the same time I wish that I could help more. And growing up also, I was in Girls Brigade, like wow, so I really love like old people and like taking care of them. So to me it's like actually like if I study something like nursing, like my skills will be very practical, that I can take care of my loved ones, like even in the future, not even at that point in time, right, because my grandpa already, but then it's like, oh, maybe next time like my parents or that I can take care of them. So to me that's why at that point in time it's like, okay lah, makes sense. I have something fun that I can do like skills wise, like in my comm stuff, but at the same time like practically like in like very real life how to say like I have these skills as well. So I thought it was a good mix.
So when, let's say after, well, I mean, not let's say, but when you went into NUS nursing, right? So did you feel like there was like a culture shock? Well, okay, when did you feel like the culture shock from coming from like a Mass Comm background, going into like nursing?
Yeah.
When was like, wow, this is a different world?
Wow, I remember my first few weeks in school, right? I felt so miserable, Like, I remember I was just sitting there and I was like, wow, what am I doing in my life? It's like, they started like, oh, your body, your stomach, like, your cells. And I was like,
it's like secondary school biology all over again.
Yeah, it's really bio all over again, Yeah, and I definitely was at a disadvantage because a lot of my classmates, like they came from like Poly, like they do biomed or JC, then they study bio. But the last time I did bio was like in secondary school. So it's like, wow, it was really like super duper hard. So that's why I like in my first year, I didn't like commit myself to any bond or like scholarship and all that kind of stuff. I was just like, okay, I just want to use this year to just explore and see how first. Then only in my second year, then I got like a scholarship, Yeah.
Let's go. What was would you say like since you came from a Mass Comm background, right? Where any situations where you actually, hey, my Mass Comm skills came in handy. Like,
TBH, it's like, I mean, I feel like Mass Comm is such a general skill.
Sure.
It's so good, right?
It's
Like
broad
all the
lah.
different, and you can use it in any different field.
Sure.
So even though I'm a nurse now, I'm doing a lot of comm stuff for healthcare. Yeah, and like I really enjoy like, doing like my own videos also and everything, right?
Kim
Like
has
to
a
educate.
podcast. Later she'll tell us more. Boom.
Yeah, like so I really love, I found out like I really love like public education, like making things very simple for people to understand. So like even like, so I think that stems from like at work when I talk to patients and their family members, how to explain it to them. Then also because I'm a nurse, right? So many of my friends like DM me, then they're like, hey, like my stomach a bit like weird, like what should I do? That
You're
kind
like
of
wet MD lah now.
wet MD.
Kim MD.
That's right.
Yes.
So yeah, so I think I realized like, hey, actually I really do enjoy all of it, right? All of this lah. So I think that's where Mass Comm really trained me very well as well. Yeah, and I think in healthcare setting, I mean there's a lot of people who have told me like the skills that I have are very niche. Like there's not many like nurses who are also trained professionally in like communications, and that like it's a very specific like role that I might be able to like fit into like in healthcare. So I'm still like exploring stuff lah here and there.
Nice. Then wait, the NUS nursing was a 4-year course also?
4 years with
4-year
honours.
So during that 4 years, which part of like the whole course of study, right, you felt like, oh, okay, snap, like, wow, this is actually
What I
not bad.
want to
Like,
do.
yeah, like you could see yourself like, wow, which was like, yeah.
I remember in my first year, at the end of the year, we went for our first ever posting at a community hospital.
Okay.
Then TBH as students, right, you just go there play only lah.
Sure.
Community hospital, nothing much also. So I remember every day I just went to work, right, and I just draw like, do colouring stuff with the old people. Then I was like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Yeah, it's so cute, Yeah, so I remember after that posting, right, I was like, wow, this is it. Then I went to go and like find my scholarship, everything.
Yeah.
Then that's when I knew like, okay lah, I want to stay in nursing. But definitely after I started working, things have been very different. The reality of it is very different. Yeah, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, I don't regret lah. Yeah.
That's nice. Okay.
Wait, so at
Yes,
this
yes.
point, what about your dream of becoming a radio DJ? Where did that go? Or you just
It's still there.
okay?
It's still there somewhere.
Okay.
But like I guess it just kind of like manifests in like different ways.
Okay.
So maybe not necessarily, because I realized one thing was that even though I was doing radio and it was stuff that I really loved, I feel like that on the inside, your heart, you really know like something missing. Like you just feel like something's missing, Like I'm sure like for you.
You channel it into something else lah.
Correct. So that's when like for nursing, right, I was just like, this is it. Like I know that my passion is with old people.
Right.
My skill set, I might be good at like this certain
Yeah.
thing, but the audience that I want to reach is like this particular group. So I think that's why
Right.
the mesh of both was like it's like perfect for me.
Nice.
I think that's a very good example of like, you know, sometimes maybe when you grow up, you always think like, oh, I must have that one purpose in life or like that one goal in life, and that will never change. But the reality is, you know, life is so unpredictable. You really see so many different fields or experiences and everything, and it's okay for your life goal to sort of just change or shift just a little bit as well. So I think that's what I got from her experience. I think it's good that you decided to act on what you did at in uni lah, nursing and everything lah. So cool, nice, thanks for sharing.
Right, and I think also like, I mean, knowing you personally, I mean, on Kim's own IG stories, she gives snapshots of her moments, you know, in hospitals, situations that she's facing, you know, and then somehow even as someone, you know, not within like, you know, the medical field and knowing what's going on, you could kind of get like a little nice, like, you know, oh, okay, there are like people like this around, like, you know, and it's very
Real,
yeah, it's very real. It almost feels like a sitcom every day. It's like different episodes, an episodic series of Kim's life, and it's so funny. And sometimes you do that whole what do you call that? Like you in your own room and you're talking about your day or like main situations, and I'm like, nice. And of course, you have your own podcast. When did you shout your podcast out? Oh, what is your podcast name?
YouTube.com, Kimberley and Tan. Yeah, thank you.
Boom, on YouTube. We'll put the link down here. So when did you like start the podcast?
Wow,
for that?
I tell you, I think okay, growing up I always loved to vlog.
Yes.
So I remember, you know, the whole One Direction thing. I was like, hello, like wow, like so cool, right? Yeah. So I think growing up already, I like to just like capture moments and memories of stuff. So I think for me, all these like podcasts and everything, it's not just to educate people, but for me, it's also so that I can look back next time with like my children
Yes,
and everyone,
sir.
right? And be like, yo, at this point in time in my life when I was this age, like, you know, this
Yeah.
is what I was going through and all the lessons that I learned. Yeah. So yeah, lor. I think wow, it's just something that I've loved to do. Like I like to talk.
When did you like come on like, okay, I should do a like this like podcast, and when did that happen?
I think especially after I started to gain more experience in nursing, right?
Yeah.
So this is specifically like, in relation to like my nursing podcast,
Yeah.
right? I think a lot of juniors have like also reached out to contact me and asked me like, hey, like what is it like, the reality of it, you know? Like so this was in school, and now all the more so because I have like working experience and all that, right? So I realized that actually there's this huge disparity, right? Like when students just graduate and they join the workforce and they enter, then they're like, whoa, because I've experienced that as also, right, personally. So, and it's just quite sad because a lot of them don't have like this like strong support system, and there's no one there to really like coach them and journey with them through the whole thing. So I just kind of birthed the idea of like, hey, me and my best friend Tiff, like
Shout outs, man.
yeah, like we were like, oh, like we just want to be like everyone's 姐姐 lah, like you know, like go through that, like we go through already, we know how hard it is, yeah, and then and just really like just make sure they know that like, hey, it's perfectly normal what you're all going through. You all can reach out to us, like, you know, like tips on like anxiety, all this kind of stuff. Like it's very, very real. You're not like the odd one out, you know.
Right.
Yeah, and just like give these like resources to them as well. Yeah. So that's why I really felt that like, wow, I should really like put out all these like podcasts, especially in relation to nursing.
No, 100%. And I think also because my mom's also a nurse, so I got my mom to watch Kim's podcast, and my mom has been a nurse for like literally her whole life, and she found it very refreshing. It's like a different perspective of like the younger nurses lah, you know, and then props, man. Yeah, and obviously I think like what Kim said lah. As with also, I think our podcast as well, you know, not only like shedding light on like, you know, different walks of life and everything, but to also, you know, share experiences whereby different people, you can say, okay, this tete or this koko or whoever, you know, it's like walking down this path, and if this is something that I want to do, or if this is something that I'm facing, you know, I could also learn a little bit from, you know, and to avoid some like pitfalls and obstacles as well. So shout outs to Kim, man.
对
Boom.
Thank you.
So the next round, we've come to the end of part 1. So the next round is a Spitfire round. Take it away, actually.
Wow.
So Spitfire is very easy. I'm just gonna give you like this or that, and then you just tell me the first thing that comes to your mind, okay? Don't need to think so much, and then if you want to elaborate, just go ahead.
Okay.
So we'll start off very simple, okay?
Okay.
1, 2, 3, coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Okay, wow. Is it like, is it your fuel?
Yes. Last time I was a chamomile tea girl,
Oh,
you know, like just
wow.
kind of like to relax.
Calming.
Yeah, bougie, right? But then now it's like every morning shift, I cannot function if I don't drink coffee.
What is your go-to like coffee?
Just normal those hazelnut, those old town coffee, you know, like wow, the hazelnut
The
milk.
green colour one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I also
wow,
like it. I
delightful,
also like last
yeah.
time. Yeah, nice. Okay, nice. Then daytime or nighttime?
Daytime.
Okay. Why?
Super daytime. You know, I keep telling people I'm very scared next time when I grow old, I got sundown syndrome. You know
That's
what is
mean what?
sundown
Please
syndrome?
tell about
It's like for some people, right? Especially the old people.
Sundown syndrome. The one where you keep participating in the Sundown Marathon.
That's you.
Wow, serious. Carry on.
So for some old people, right, like when, especially those that have dementia, in the daytime they can be perfectly fine. Then once the sun starts to set a bit, right, they will go cuckoo already. Like they will get aggressive or start to get very confused.
Some kingdom
Vampire.
shit.
Vampire.
Yeah, it's like kingdoms, yeah.
You go watch Kingdom? Some kingdom shit.
No, but really, it's the change in behavior is crazy. So I always joke around with people because I realize I really love the daytime. Like last time when I still used to do night shifts, right? Because now I don't do it anymore because of some health stuff. I realized like, wow, I feel so like, wow, mentally it really affects me a lot. You know, like nighttime for me, it's like time to sleep.
Okay.
Yeah, so I really love the daytime, watching the sunrise, watching the sunset. Wow, I love it.
As long as there's
I
like
love
Okay. So do we like a vacation or a staycation?
Vacation.
Okay.
Vacation.
That's nice. Okay, cats or dogs?
Dog. Wow, almost a cat, you know.
Oh,
Why
what's
later
wrong?
my
It's
two
okay.
dogs go home attack me. Dogs.
You have how many dogs?
Two.
Yeah, you better remember that. Okay,
But
work.
it's not that you don't like cats lah.
No,
it's just-
cats. I love cats also.
But
Dogs.
But she got dogs, so she must say dogs.
That's right.
Yeah. If not, then the dog will be like, what the
they
fuck?
can sense.
Yeah. Work or play?
Play. Balance. Can answer that.
Can
Play lah,
for
play
you.
lah. Eh.
Eh,
Okay lah, play lah.
play. Okay, can.
City or countryside?
City.
City,
City
ah.
girl.
Really?
Okay, if anywhere in the world right now you could like be, which city do you wanna?
I wanna go Seoul. Fan BTS.
Hey, Army!
Kim
Shut
is a
up.
huge army.
Yes. Who's your favorite? Let them know. John. Yes, sir.
She actually, she actually recently started Bounce, right? Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Oh, yes,
specifically
yes,
to
Bouncy.
to BTS songs.
No
only.
lah, the one time I
Oh, that
went
one
lah.
time.
But
Okay.
every time have I will go.
The one
No
is the
problem.
Jit Sia one.
Yeah, the Jixia.
Why are you plugging her
No,
lessons?
I-
Yeah.
I-
Ganas.
Itu betul Jit Sia.
Okay, Ken. Where we at? Okay, TikTok or Instagram?
Oh, Instagram.
Oh.
Okay.
Are you on TikTok? Do you watch TikTok?
Yo, I love TikTok.
Oh, you love
But
TikTok.
Instagram lah,
But you
Instagram.
love Instagram better. Do you have the new interface on Instagram?
The stories one, is it where it's only people's names?
Huh?
Have you all seen
What is
that?
that? No, I don't know.
Yeah, like my on Instagram, you can see who view your stories, right? Now I don't even see people's usernames. It's just your names.
Oh.
Like so for you, it's just Isaac. Oh, and your picture. Then
That's so like mine is the layout lah. Like even if it's a square photo, then they'll have like a gradient layout and
It's
the
an infinity scroll. that
oh
kind,
no,
like-
I don't have. I don't have.
shit.
Yeah.
Okay. So Instagram. Okay, favorite musician.
You have to pick one.
BTS?
BTS or BTS or One Direction?
BTS.
Oh wow, what happened to One Direction?
Now One Direction got T man. They got
Jungkook
drama.
or Niall?
Jungkook.
Did you see the recent what the
The
Liam?
Liam drama.
Yeah.
Ayo.
Oh, what's the Liam?
Nah, Liam. He nonsense ah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know very well, but I saw a TikTok of him saying like, Simon Cowell sort of started.
It's like the band like revolve around Liam.
Yeah, like the band was revolved around how he looked, because like Simon promised him that One Direction.
Yeah. Oh.
Hi sis. Cut this out.
Strip that down, you know. Strip that down.
I think so.
Yeah. Okay, never mind. Yeah.
Oh, so he actually was based off like trying to make revolve.
That's what he said.
That's what he said lah. Then he said out of all of them, he made the most sales like his solo career. Then we're like,
It's never been so good.
okay.
Harry who?
Harry
who?
who?
Okay, but
Okay. Favorite movie / show.
of all time.
High School Musical.
Boom.
The old one, right?
The
with
first one.
Vanessa Hudgens. Oh, okay.
Get your head in the cage.
Yeah.
Get your- Last time got the Disney Channel got the sing along version.
Yeah.
Last time my cousins they will like sing along, then like wow. Insane. Yes, sir.
Favorite song of all time?
Song of all time.
Yeah. Wow, she really thinking, eh?
Don't
Microcosmos by BTS.
take- Boom.
I know, I remember you gave me that song also.
Yeah.
Over here.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, favorite way to unwind?
Oh, I like going for walks. Going for walks, then look at the sunset, then listen to music, look at trees. Sometimes I walk until like I get so sentimental until like I cry, man. Like on my walks. Wow. Yeah.
Alone?
Yeah, really. Yeah, I'm really feeling
really
person.
taking it
Really,
in,
yeah, I'm really taking it in. But I think that's I do that to charge. Then I think that's why like I can give so much at work. You know what I mean?
100%. So would you say extrovert or introvert?
Last time I extrovert, now I introvert.
Ooh.
Depends on the season.
Okay.
Sundown syndrome. It's not. It's not.
No.
Different, different.
Describe your perfect day.
My perfect day.
Yeah.
How does it begin? How does it end?
Yeah. Tell us.
Okay. Wake up in the morning, drink some tea, coffee, take a Grab to Tanjong Beach.
Okay.
Get a tan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I realized I would like to do now, right? I go to the beach Monday morning, so empty, journal, get myself a nice tea, drink, bake in the sun. Then after that, I go to Vivo.
Okay.
Very specific,
Yeah.
I walk to Vivo.
Tell us,
Then
tell
I go
us.
and buy some sushi.
Okay.
Yeah. Then after that, I go to Time Zone by myself.
Oh wow.
Play some shooty.
Yeah.
Then after that, walk around, go and buy some clothes from Zara.
Yeah.
Then if I can, then come here now, of course, right?
Oh wow.
You know? Then after that, go home and sleep.
Nice.
What time is
Oh.
this by the time you get home?
Dinner time.
Okay.
Have dinner with my family.
Oh,
Then after that,
wow.
go home. And
Are you-
I go home, sleep.
Are
That's
you
it.
an early sleeper?
Very nowadays? If I don't get enough sleep, I will get cold sores and like my immune system will like woo. So like I think really like as I get older, right? It's like I realize I really need to
Sundown.
sleep.
No,
Hey.
it's not. That one is
Oi.
not all the time. No.
No.
No. Like you tell me one fact that I just yeah.
Okay.
Okay, interesting.
Okay. If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Yes.
Flying. I've had so many dreams where like I just like fly. Weird, right?
Why don't you just want to teleport? Isn't it like?
But don't have the thrill of like
Understand.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
fair. That's fair.
Thank you.
Flying. Okay. So, next one. What's one meal you could eat for the rest of your life?
One meal only, you can, but the rest of your life you can keep eating this.
McGriddles, hash
sure?
browns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
Yeah
lah.
lah.
Your nurse don't
Hash
say
browns.
stuff. Oh,
Hash brown with
Salad,
the chili
like salad.
sauce.
like salad. McGriddle, really?
Yeah, nice. This year the first year I try, I never eat before. This year was the first year. Yeah. But it's so good. Okay lah. Hash browns with aburi sushi.
Wait, what?
Where did this come from?
Oh, we're out of McDonald's.
Yeah, oh McDonald's. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. Hash brown, McDonald's hash browns,
Yeah.
but with aburi sushi.
Oh, bullshit. Not bad.
Rest of your life, huh? I tell you first.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
every day
really.
You wake up for breakfast, lunch,
Really,
dinner.
mentaiko also sushi also can. Wow.
Oh, it's those kind of very.
Jelat.
Oh yeah.
Shiok, eh?
Okay.
Thank you.
Each his own, to each his own.
Thank
Okay.
you.
okay.
Respect.
If you weren't doing what you're doing now, what would you be doing?
Like nursing.
Yeah.
I feel like I would still be in comms, Like I feel like I would still be doing that, but I'm not sure in what field. But hopefully, like in the music, that whole industry, making some kind of change, man. And yeah, like actually, I like for this short period of time, I kind of entertained the thought of like going back into comms, then like going back into comms stuff. Oh, I'm hospital, don't hear this, man. But like going back to comms, but like focusing a lot on like health, like that kind of thing, like like the deeper stuff. Because I'm really for like. Those connections with people and stuff like that. Yeah, which I feel like I was very lacking when I was in comms at that point in time because I didn't have all this experience with people, right? So that's something that I feel like I would enjoy a lot.
Okay, fair. Last one. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Live anywhere in the world.
New Zealand.
You like the tranquil, like serenity.
Actually, yeah, leh. Actually, just like I said city girl, right? But actually, but I remember primary school I went to New Zealand, right? Then I almost drowned, you know. But that's like,
please
that's
tell.
like. You want to go there?
Yeah, since you mentioned what happened.
I was in some indoor swimming pool. Like I was there with Girls Brigade, like on a Girls Brigade trip. Then I remember I was with my buddy. And I remember, you know, like there's those floats. Then like, everyone was sitting on a float, but there wasn't enough space. So I just like hooked onto the back, right? And I was just like, Then I didn't know we went to like the 2 meter side. Then I just let go and then my body just slowly fell downwards.
She was jacked for a moment.
Yeah. Yeah. And then everyone's feet started appearing on top of me. Then I was just like, what's going on? Then I was like, like I just felt like it was in slow-mo, you know. Then I just like, and then my buddy, who is also like about my age, and like primary school, then she pulled me out. Then I was like,
GB.
yeah. Yeah. But other than that, I had a great time. I ride horse.
Do you-
Wow.
Do you swim?
Now can.
I'm very worried.
Yeah.
Wait, you want to go back there? You
But
crazy,
it was
crazy.
nice. I remember the weather was so nice. The crazy girl.
Anyway, that's the end of the
That's the end of the
Spitfire round.
Spitfire round.
I hope you have fun.
Boom.
Okay. So the next part of this podcast, we just wanted to talk about, you know,
A deep dive.
yeah, we just want to deep dive into what you shared earlier on, you know, in this podcast. So, Isaac, take it away.
Yeah, so what advice would you give people who are too afraid to, like, you know, say change courses, or they feel like they've invested like too much time, you know, in their current path, that they feel like, oh, okay, it's too late. You know, I don't like what you mentioned just now, you know, like from Mass Comm, you know, you don't want it to be like, oh, you know, people tell you, hey, you studied 3 years, then like 浪费, you know, wasted. You know, what are you gonna say to that? Tell the people who are having like doubts.
Okay. I think one thing that I learned, I'm someone, right, that's very rigid.
Okay.
Yeah, so TBH, right, like I struggle a lot with like adjusting to change. I'm very like one set, like even in my shift, right, it's just like I want the day to go like that. If there's any disruption, right, I'll get pictured, you know. Yeah, but then like but then I realized like, wow, like I was also every time like I get pictured, I'm like, no, I'm such a rigid person and all that kind of stuff. Then I always think back, oh, I made such a huge jump, you know. Like, how did I adapt to that, right? And then, like,
Yeah.
wow, and also, like, managed to somehow get, like, scholarship, like, all that kind of stuff, and
Shoutouts,
really
man.
score, like, quite well, lah. So, I think any field that you're in, right? I mean, of course, the thing that you are studying might be very specific. Like, you know, for me, it's like radio, advertising, marketing.
Right.
Then in nursing, it's like health, like biology and everything. But I always feel that in any job that you're in, anything that you're studying, as long as your perspective, like, you're able to, like, kind of, like, zoom out, right? And, like, see
Zoom in,
it.
zoom
Yeah,
in, zoom out, zoom out.
You sure you like Instagram more or not? You sure like TikTok more?
Sorry to cut you off. But yes, but yeah, you zoom out.
Yeah, like so for me, right, I always ask people like, you need to zoom out, right? And then you really I can't get
Yeah,
stuck
I
on my-
know. After you say that, then it just
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, but so to me, right, it's like, okay, there's always stuff that you can bring into other fields. Yeah, like so even in comms, right, the ability to like speak and present yourself well to
100%.
people, that has helped me so much in terms of like gaining my patients' trust, building very good rapport with their family members, which honestly speaking, like quite a lot of nurses struggle with, their communication and all that. Then at the same time also in the healthcare field, like what I said just now, right, like there's so much more that we can do in terms of like our communications, not just like in the hospital, but like with the public, like, you know, how to be able to bridge that gap. So for me, it's like, wow, like there's so many things I can transfer over. So I always believe that like in any field that you're in, you just really need to take a step back and like really reflect, like, okay, if let's say I really want to go into this other place, right? Even though the specific skills for this specific industry might be difficult, like just now medicine, go into modeling, right? You know, like so different. But at the same time, like in medicine, you learn so many things about communication as well and all that, which is very important in any industry you go to. Yeah. So I mean, some people say like, yeah, very easy to say lah and all that kind of stuff. But I think it's something that you really need to be very intentional with.
Yes.
Intentional with like realizing and like picking up, okay, like these are the things that I can transfer and how do I work on them and like slowly adjust, you know, and like bring them into this other
Right.
field.
Yeah, I think to add on you know, like what Kim said, I think also like for myself also, I think earlier episodes of like our podcast, right, I think we also mentioned that when from NS days transitioning into what I'm gonna do after NS, right, I think I was stuck at that crossroad whereby, you know, whether I should continue pursuing like, you know, a degree education or just go and do whatever I like, you know. So yeah, I mentioned I wanted to go to Japan to study like Japanese, and I actually, again, you know, rehashing the story lah, but I told my parents like, you know, that I wanted to do it. My dad was okay-ish with it, you know, just he said, oh, you got to write down, show me a plan, you know. I cannot like, you know, just give you money and just go. But, you know, I've saved my money, so I wasn't worried, you know. But my mom was like, hey, you know, you don't give your son these kind of ideas, or, you know, do something more safe, you know, something more traditional. You know, hey, just go get a degree lah, and then that one I can think about it lah, because my mom always associate like, oh, you know, you go there, you can play and whatnot, you know. It's not practical, it's not practical. So I think, but then I was I was slightly younger then, you know, I was like 21, 22 when I came out of NS, right? And because my mom didn't really believe in what I did or what I want to do, and then I felt like, oh shit, okay, maybe, yeah, I should just keep that aside for now, you know, and then go for what my mom said lah. And it turned out to be the worst decision of my life lah. But you see, I think, no, really, because that's why I always tell customers also, every time when they come into the store, especially like when you're younger, like you have time on your hands, right? Especially when it comes to like schooling and whatnot, courses or what you want to do after graduating. I feel like I always tell them, whatever you are inclined to or whatever your interests are, try to lean into them. You know, what you have is time. Lean into it, try it. If it doesn't work out, you know, hey, you at least you scratch the itch. And I think many a times is like when you look back later in life, you will tell yourself like, hey, you know, I've done that. That's fun. And a lot of these things is like you can always pull like experiences from, you know, and apply to whatever you're going to be facing, you know, in the future. So nothing is absolute, you know. It's not like the final destination. So just keep trying and then go for it, man. Like no fear. One thing is shut out the noises like around you. Even like what we're saying right now. Again, I always stress this. Whatever we're saying is our own experiences, right? And for you guys, if you think what we say is like, you know, BS, so be it, right? Always listen to your own inner voice and then follow that path, because you know yourself the best. And once you're able to do that, right, to live and die by your own sword. I always say that like your decisions are your decisions alone. You know, whether you succeed, whether you fail, it's on you. Don't think it's like, oh, I'm letting someone down, I'm letting who down or whatnot. No, it's make it your decision, and then with that there's accountability. You know, you don't push the blame to anyone. It's like, okay, it's on me because I made this decision. Yes, and
goes very nicely to the next question. So like throughout this whole time, right, what does your family think about what you do, like and your transition as well? What did they have to say about that? Did they have anything to say?
I think, throughout my family has been very supportive. Shout out to the Tans, man.
Shout out to Tan family.
Tans, man.
Boom.
Especially Papa and Mama Tan. Like really so supportive, you know. Yeah, I think they knew. So to them it was like, okay, like you studied comms, right? Like immediately they thought like that you would want to continue with comms. But when I brought up to them nursing, because my grandma's also a nurse. Yeah, she used to be a nurse.
Shout outs, Nightingale, like that kind of like.
Yeah, like last time like go to the kampong, like kind of thing, you know. Yeah, so I think and there are a few other nurses in my family as well. So I think when I suggested like, hey, like I want to try like nursing stuff, actually my parents really pushed me for it, because they were like, oh, like so good and stable also, you know, like join healthcare, stable. Then at the same time they were like, oh, can really see how it would bring out that your softer side, you know, and how you'll be so good, especially with like old people, because I already have such a huge passion for old people, right? So they're like, it just really makes sense. So throughout the whole thing, they've been so supportive. I think the more of the people who will be like iffy. Actually, I had my girls brigade captain last time, who is also a nurse, right? When I told her to like, you know, like you need to get those people to write for you, like, oh, like this girl last time very good. When I submitting my uni application and stuff, I remember she was like, girl, like, are you sure you want to be a nurse? Like she was, cause and coming from a nurse, I was like, wow, actually, like maybe not, like, you know, like she's until like that. Yeah, but for my family, just my family, very supportive. Like now also, like my parents always send me to work, fetch me home from work.
Shout out to Papa and Mama Tan.
Yeah, when I come home from work, especially like when I come home late, like always got food at home ready for me to eat, because they know I'm hungry.
That's
everything
nice.
Really very, very supportive.
That's so sweet. Yeah. And so far, okay, when do you officially, like, you know, become a nurse? Like officially. Like
when did I officially?
Yes.
2 years ago.
2 years ago?
2020, July.
Ooh, so it was in like the peak of
Really
like,
COVID,
the
you know.
COVID,
Yeah,
like,
really.
please,
Yeah,
come
really.
in. The world.
Really.
So what has been the most challenging part of like your journey so far? When first? When has it been like
When
the most?
I think my first 1.5 years from the moment I joined until like maybe only just like later last year was horrible.
Tell us
That's
why.
So just now I like briefly mentioned, right, how like wow, like the support that a lot of new nurses get is not very good, and you feel very lost and like you're like drowning, you know. And I think that was me. So I was really struggling at work. No time to eat at all. No time to go to the toilet. And like if I'm able to just like rush to the back to like drink water for like 1 minute, that kind, it's like good for me, you know, that kind. So it's like my friends getting UTIs, that I keep like vomiting, getting nausea because like my gastric, right, it was so bad. Yeah, so and I think also because mentally like sis was like really stressed out and like always cannot sleep, then it manifested like physically. So like I was really struggling, man. Like now, right, like people say like I already gained back like quite a lot of my weight, you know. Like when I first joined, right, I really lost so much weight. Yeah. It was really, really bad. I felt like, wow. Then it's so physical, mental. Then it's just like a loopy loop, you know. Then you just feel like so stuck. I remember like almost every day, like I cry at work, you know, like I want to leave, man. But like I'm bonded, so I'm stuck. Yeah, so you know. So I was like, then you just feel so like really feel so miserable and trapped lah. Yeah, and I think only about end-ish last year, then like I moved to a better place. Then I think because of that, then my like everything is just so much better now. I think that's why like I'm able to look back now and be like, yeah, you know, like I learned so many important lessons and stuff. Yeah, but the first 1+ years was really like a huge struggle.
So when you first entered to the workforce, right, in nursing, can say the hospital? Never mind lah.
But actually, okay lah,
okay. So like when you first time when you stepped into like the workforce, right? Then where did they like place you? Like what department were you in? Since this was like at the height of the pandemic.
Yeah. So I was in a normal, like it was a geriatric ward, so mostly very old patients. But my patients all like okay, to put it very simply, like they all have like some kind of like bacteria and stuff on their skin, like some part of their bodies and everything. So I had a lot of patients who were like those bed bound from nursing home, like very ill, like cannot move by themselves. So a bit like dirty in a sense, like not like young one like us, like our parents, you know, like walking around and everything. Yeah, so I think because of that also the workload was so much heavier, like physically, you know. I really don't need to work out at all, you know, because I go to work, man. Wow, like my arms,
there's like anytime
really,
fitness,
like, wow,
get it? It's like anytime fitness.
Really, you know, yeah. So that was that was the patient type lah. That's why it was so. Yeah, that's why it was so strict.
How long were you at the old people ward?
Slightly over a year. Slightly over a year.
Then during like the peak of like the COVID, or like during that whole COVID period, right? I mean even now lah, but what was like the toughest? Like tell some not fun situations, but any particular point in time during the COVID time where you felt like, oh my, what's going on? Oh my gosh, like it was so overwhelming. Like
not in relation just to COVID, right? Just during that period of time, is it? Oh. I remember there's this one, like I always tell people my worst experience so far in my entire life in nursing, right? Was there's this one shift, it was so bad. I remember I couldn't eat. I was accompanying this patient downstairs for some scan or something. I had to accompany him lah. So for like nearly half of my shift, I was like downstairs. I wasn't even with all my other patients. When I came back to the ward, this patient said like, oh, I need to pee. And I was like, I think he was on diapers, so I was just like, bro, like, I don't even know whether my other patients are like dying. Like, I literally don't know what's going on. So like, can you just give me a short while to, you know, like go and check on my other patients, make sure everything's okay. Then this guy went to call his son. Yeah, and then
I think I remember.
And then the son called the ward, and like on the phone, he started scolding the living crap out of me. Like it was so bad, you know, like it was so insulting. So not even I just gonna. It was so funny, you know. I remember it was so drama. I remember I was on the phone, right, and I was like so hungry and like so dehydrated. Then I remember he like kept scolding me. I just fell onto the floor and I was like crying. Then my colleagues all thought I fainted, but I was like no, like, I was just crying.
But the phone was still attached.
And then the phone was still on, and the guy was like blah, 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 blah. And then my senior colleague took over she took the phone. And it was so bad till after the call, she cried also, because the guy was like, the son was saying things like, I'm Singaporean, like I know the ministers or something like that.
Hey, that's damn irritating.
Really, you know. And he was like,
irritating.
I'm gonna call back in 2 minutes. If y'all haven't bring my dad to the toilet, then like I will go and I'm like gonna like. But that wasn't even like the meanest thing he said lah. But like it was along those lines, and it was so funny because I found out I know who the guy is. Like I know the son. I've met him before. Yeah, so I was like, but he doesn't
like
know.
Roughly like the the 20s, 30s? Or?
The son is like a bit older, but I met him like in my Mass Comm days before.
I think,
so
okay.
like so it's someone that I actually know.
I think,
wow, that was honestly so not only there was the scolding, and everything like so bad, right? But like to find out that it was from someone that I actually looked up to and respected, right? Wow, I tell you, really like ultimate betrayal, you know, the feeling, wow, really. Yeah, so I don't think that was the worst experience of like my nursing life, but like even like my Mass Comm self was like, ooh.
Man.
Yeah,
I think take good
Cannot,
care
you know,
of
I remember.
your healthcare staff,
Yeah,
man,
I remember,
or
you know,
anyone, you know.
the next day I go back to work, I like feel so scared, you know, like I like really like traumatized. I like don't want to go back to work anymore. Then every time like patients' family members like try to like ask me stuff, like I'll get like very defensive because I'm very scared, right? Like they like trying to like scold me or everything. Wow, then it took me quite a while to get over that lah. But now I'm okay lah. Now if patient family fight me, then I like just kidding.
Why do people
Have to be like that.
yeah, why do they feel like they have the right to
Belittle.
or like put someone down, like make them feel small, especially I think with service staff, you know?
Yeah.
Why are they entitled to do so?
I mean, okay lah. TBH, we have to, of course, stay professional as much as we can,
100%.
right? Yeah. I mean, not saying that we don't stand up for ourselves. Like now, right, very easy. If they talk to me, I'm like, sorry, I don't appreciate the tone. Like you can call me back when you like
Calm
willing
down,
to like
cool
talk
down.
to when you are willing to talk to me like normally. Bye. You know, just put on phone. But I mean, for us, we always boil it down to like, okay, we understand because they might be very stressed out.
Sure.
You know, like their parents are in the hospital, might be like dying, like they're so uncertain and all that, right? So to us, it's like, I mean, it's unfair. Definitely, you can like we are not here for you to like lash out on us and everything, right? But sometimes because of all these things that accumulate, like we're like, okay lah, like just really cannot take it personally, lor.
Wow.
Yeah, just really cannot take it personally. Thank you.
Yes. So what advice would you give your younger self? Like what would you tell younger Kim today?
I think keep that passion. I think I'm someone who is just very passionate. When I know that I love something, right, I just stay very passionate. So I think that I wouldn't say like, oh, looking back, you know, like I regretted why I didn't Mass Comm. I should have like done something, blah, blah, blah. Or maybe I shouldn't have gone into nursing. But I think I realized that as long as I really just like concentrate and like pour my heart into something, I realized that like, hey, actually I do a damn good job at it.
Yeah.
You know, so I think just like at every stage of my life, I always tell people like, if you feel like you're passionate about something else or your passion, your interest change, right, then just go for it, man.
100%,
Like just go and pursue it, like with all that you have, like you know, like bring forward all your knowledge, your experience, your skills from your past and stuff, and just like throw it into this new industry because who knows, like the industry might need it, right? Yeah. So I would just tell my younger self to really just like keep at it. Like it will really get better. Yeah, but just to really stay hungry and like stay passionate lah. Yeah, stay hungry not in like the sense where like, you know, we don't eat at work.
Yeah.
You know
Please,
what I mean?
please eat, guys. Please
Yeah.
eat. Yes, and also, you know, just now we talked about a little bit about like, the pandemic, right? So with the pandemic, I mean, it has brought on all sorts of, I guess, like stereotypes, right? To like the healthcare industry workers, right? What was your own experience with that, and what do you have to say to people out there?
TBH, for me, it's been a bit mixed.
Okay.
Like quite good and bad. I think, I mean, can talk about the bad one.
Sure.
After that, you know, the nice, good stuff, right? So I think the bad thing is, okay, personally, I didn't experience a lot of like discrimination, especially during the peak of COVID and everything. But a lot of my colleagues, like taxi driver will turn them away, or they, you know, like they'll be scared to tell the taxi driver like, oh, I'm working as a nurse at Tata Singh. They make sure that like before they leave work, they must change clothes because they're very scared that like people won't want to pick them up, you know, like, and a lot of friends like wouldn't want to meet
They see
them.
the uniform, they
Yeah, actually TBH now still sometimes when I'm in the MRT also I sit down right in my uniform. Then some people like a bit like, oh. Okay, but anyway, so yeah, but it was really very bad during the peak of COVID lah. Yeah, so that was pretty sad. But at the same time, for me personally, I experienced a lot more like encouragement. I think it was a very good platform. Like it was a very good space for us to like really speak up about a lot of things. And I think as much as, you know, like there were those people who were like very like discriminatory and everything, right? I feel like there were even more people who were very encouraging and very supportive
100%.
and really took the time to like understand like, hey, actually what is it really like in healthcare now? What do you all really go through? And I think over the past 2 years, right, that like so many of these nursing like healthcare issues have been like brought to light. So I mean for me, I like to see it and focus more on that lah. Yeah, that like, you know, like now we have at least this platform, like people are listening to us. Yeah.
Nice. And yeah.
What did you think about the whole part where we all clapped for y'all?
You know, my family, it's so funny. I was at work, you know, then my family sent me a video. Like they were all like in the house, like, yay! Then like people outside, oh, like maybe like that. I was like, okay, thank you. But it's very cute lah. My monkey's cute lah. like, oh, thank you. But like, it's cute lah. It's very cute lah.
Yeah, and of course, tell us also what are some of your future goals and plans. It could be like personal, on a personal level, on a career level also can. Talk to us.
Okay, so I think as with last time, I feel like it's still ever changing, like ever moving, like evolving. So
like water. Be like water.
So like I think like in the first year, right, I was just really so sure, right, that after my bond, I'm gonna quit. Sayonara nursing, goodbye.
Yeah.
Like, no thank you. Yeah, but I think now that I'm experiencing different stuff, the balance is much better and all that, right? I'm also having more opportunities to like do more comm stuff and everything. So I feel like that might be a particular thing that I wanna explore, be it like in my current hospital or like outside, like on a bigger level, like I don't know.
She's gonna try and get BTS to visit her ward, confirm.
Oh yeah! On the I just emailed them, hello, hi, hello. Yeah, but I think
we're gonna have a hard time finding out what you said just now. Yeah.
But yeah, I think just like exploring that route, or who knows, like I might really just fall in love and like want to stay in clinicals. Because the thing is, like when I want to do my comm stuff, right, I feel like then I cannot interact with the cute old people. Then that's what fuels me, So I'm still just like really figuring things out lah. Yeah. Just really see how things go along the way. But I think personally, like I really enjoy having the best of both worlds. Yeah, it's really so. I love Hannah Montana also. There's this one time I dreamt that like before I went to sleep, I was listening to Hannah Montana music. Then I dreamt that I was Hannah Montana, and I was performing in Gochuan. Then I went to the toilet, then I put on my blonde wig, and then I went on stage and I started singing.
But no one knew who you were.
No one knew who I was. Like everyone just thought I was Hannah Montana. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but I guess that's a good example as well, because like Hannah Montana,
Yeah, you can be, like everyday person, but you could also be special, and everyone is special.
That's right. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you, Kim. And appreciate it. And I think if y'all out there would like to hear more about what it's like in the nursing industry, little, tidbits, little snapshots, do check out Kim's YouTube channel, her podcast. And if you want to follow her Instagram, DM us. It's boom. It's great, man. Yeah, it's very entertaining. So thank you so much for your time, Kim.
Thank you.
Appreciate
so much.
it. Thank
it's
you
an
for
honor, man.
coming up. No, the
Really,
honor is ours,
no.
man. Appreciate it. Boom.
Thank you.
And yes, we've come to the end of the episode.
Yes, please. I hope this was helpful to you guys. If you are thinking about making a switch or you're feeling unsure about what you're doing, just take it from Kim. She made the leap and she's happy where she's at now. Hopefully that will inspire you or just give you that bit of encouragement that you need. So
man.
thank you so much for watching. We will see you in our next episode. Till then, see you again. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Kim.
Thank you.